chick brooding day 1. It's very early in the morning. So this is, I think, 12 hours after chicks have been placed into the brooder. The most essential thing is that you have to be able to put enough heat. As you can see, I'm using several pots. It really rained heavily overnight. When you find out it rains overnight with these houses that have these iron sheets, they tend to get so cold during the night. So the most important thing when you are raising day-old chick is you being able to give them optimum temperature. If you're able to give them optimum temperature, that means that these chicks will be evenly spread into the brooder. And if they are evenly spread into the brooder, meaning they won't scramble in one place and stumble upon each other and suffocate each other. So that's the best way of how you can be able to brood chicks. And also making something that is cylindrical or circular, as you can see, or oval in shape, so as in case they are startled or they feel cold, they can't crumble in one corner. So as you can see, this place is well heated, and that is how a brooder should be. You can see how the chicks are evenly distributed. And you have to make sure that you are also monitoring for the water that the chicks are drinking. Like for this feed, I won't be able to add any other feed on those trays until they finish this feed. After they have finished this feed, that will be around 16-17 hours after I've placed the chicks into the brooder. I'll be able to remove these feeders and these drinkers. For example, for every 1 gram of feed that a chick ingests, it should consume around 2 to 3 grams of water. So meaning during the early stages of life, the faster if the brooder is heated very well, you'll end up finding out that your chicks are growing at a very faster rate. If they drink a lot of water and they eat even less food, you'll find out that they'll have a very faster growth. That is a secret that most people don't tell you. They think that is about the feed. But as I have done this poultry for a while, I realized that if your chick, you heat the brooder so well, they keep on drinking a lot of water and they eat just a little feed, they just get the protein content out of the feed, then you'll end up finding out that your chicks are growing at a very faster rate, and that is the only goal. So if you guys want to be able to raise chicks these properly, continue following this video. I'll accumulate it up in a very long video. Another batch is coming, so I'll be able to tell you in steps of the kind of breed that I've been able to raise for my next parent stock, and why I've been able to also do this, because I realized how the market dynamics work. Some people want also some other breeds, and that's why we have been able to incorporate. You can see these ones that they look like black, but they are not predominantly black. So when they grow up, they will look like a guinea fowl. A guinea fowl has black with white spots in it. So that's the breed that most people kept on asking from me. So also the predominantly brown breed is also on the line, so it's coming next week. So I keep on doing this so as I can be able to satisfy the market. And in any kind of business, that's how you can be able to satisfy the market. Since, as I said in most of my videos, my goal is to be able to create something that is generational. My goal is not just, that's why I don't engage in maybe employment, because you can only be employed, then you can get money out of employment, but you can't make it generational. So I wanted something that is generational. So I'm figuring it out. I'm still figuring it out as we go by on. So let's keep on pushing as we make more money in the poultry sector, because my other parent stock, I think, is 2 years and it is done. So that one has to go, so as this one keep on raising. So in 2 months time, the other parent stock will be going, and this one now they will be around 2 months to 3 months. So they will just have a waiting period of around 2 months, because I have a younger flock on the top floor. So the younger flock will continue giving me eggs for a while before I decide that I'll be changing the flock. I want just to show you the other flock so as you can understand what I'm talking about. The other flock is done. It's so old, it's done. I want to be able to show you. So guys, this is the other flock. It's very early in the morning now, you're feeding them. This flock is so old and is not producing eggs very well. It is eating but is not producing eggs very well. It is very old. So the goal is that we want to be able to remove this flock so as we can be able to replace this flock. In any kind of business, you have to be able to do the replacements, because as per now, you'll end up finding out that it is eating into your profits. So that's the only goal. You have to be able to understand how you can be able to balance, so as you can be able to remove the flock that is not laying. Because why will you keep chicken that are not laying? You have to understand that each time it takes your money out, and you have to get a profit out of the business. In most cases, when in my videos, when I'm talking about guys, how you can make a lot of money out of the poultry sector, I usually find out that those videos then tend not to get a lot of views, and I wonder what is the end goal of you guys doing poultry farming? Because I think what matters the most is the profit out of the business. I don't know if you guys are doing poultry farming as a business or you're doing it as a hobby, because if you're doing poultry farming as a business, you have to be able to know which is the best model of running the business. Okay, even if you have, I see a video of maybe the diseases getting a lot of views, maybe that's the biggest problem that farmers are facing. But guys, you should also know that what really matters is that you guys should be able to, I think the water is full. So that's the most thing that you have to make sure that you have on a poultry farm. You have to make sure that you have enough water. So that is the water that you have pumped very early in the morning. So you guys, I don't know what I was talking about. I was saying that the most important thing as a farmer is that you have to make sure that you are getting money out of the business, and you're understanding the business models in the poultry farming business. That's why I usually emphasize on some videos whereby I'm talking about you guys knowing the best poultry models and how you can be able to create something that's generational out of the business. I don't know, but I find out that most of those videos usually get very less views, and I don't understand why. Because what matters is that if you guys really understand the business models, then you can grow from 50 birds to even 1,000 birds in a span of 6 months. Because you only need to understand the market. If you're able to understand the market, then everything will just flow as you want it. But maybe if you don't understand the market so well, then you'll end up finding out that you are guessing on things. You are rearing a breed in your area whereby that breed is not highly acceptable in that area, so you'll end up finding out that you're losing money. You know, losing money doesn't mean that you are getting a loss, but maybe you are feeding your birds and maybe they have reached the market size. For example, you have reared them for the purposes of meat, and yet they have reached like 3 months for the improved kienyeji, or the broilers, they have reached the 6.5 weeks. Then you want to be able to sell them, then you're struggling to sell them. Then for example, you have reared like 100 birds, okay, then you have sold like 20, then you're remaining with 80. So the money that you have sold for the 20 you're using to feed the 80. Then the 80, at the rate that they are feeding, they're only increasing like half of what you're feeding them. Like for example, if you are feeding using 100 shillings, the bird's price is only increasing by 50 bob. So that doesn't make any sense if you are doing poultry farming as a business. You have to be able to understand that the mathematics should add up. Mathematics just should add up, and you should be able to rear the best breed. I'm not advertising my breed, but it is a good breed, because even if they reach, like for example, the market size, and maybe you have just a small piece of land, like can I say 100 by 100 plot of land, and you have enclosed it so well, you can decide and put them outside. They can free range, so meaning they can be able to scavenge on their own, and you can only supplement like 30% of the feeds, and they will be able just to grow up properly. So that's the one benefit of you rearing a kind of breed like this one, because maybe you may run out of money at a point, and I usually understand that some of these cases may occur. So sometimes you may under budget your flock, then you end up finding out that you are rearing birds and maybe they have reached the market size, and yet or they are at the growth stage and you have run out of money, so you can't be able to purchase feeds, so you decide to give them, for example, like maize, only maize without any protein. So that's like you end up finding out, like, for example, like for the guys that are giving only maize, the chicken are lacking some protein and some other essential minerals and vitamins, so you end up finding out that they inhibit their growth, and that can lead to severe complications later in life for the bird if you are keeping the bird for a long term. So we have to understand the dynamics of the business and also be able to understand how you can be able to do proper strategy on your business and which is the best business model. I talk about this in most of my videos, but I don't know. So you have just to understand, if your area has a shortage of eggs, just rear the layers. Even if they don't have a lot of profits, you just rear the layers, because that is a less risky business that you can be able to start with in your area, and you can be able to make some money out of the business. If you're living in an urban setup and most people are predominantly is a very large urban setup, you know, there's those mini urban setups that you end up finding out that comprises of maybe a lot of people that maybe just like an example, like a market center, but not so many people that have come from all over the country. So you'll end up finding out that, for example, if it is here in Western Kenya, you'll end up finding out that people only want the local breed or this improved kienyeji breed. They don't want the broilers. So, but also there are all those people in every market. There are very different kinds of people. So for the broiler, you'll also get a market out of the venture. So worry not, even if you are rearing the broiler, you'll also be able to sell the birds. But just understand your market. If you understand your market, then you can be able to grow your venture. So this video, I wanted to be able to tell you how you can be able to manage the day-old chicks from day one. But I think that will come out in the next video. I don't want to make it so long, so as I can be able just to take you off topic, or should I just be able to do it so as you can be able to, let's continue with the video so as I can be able just to, let me just finish it in this one video. It can be around 18 minutes long, but I think you'll be able to watch till the end so as you can understand. Yeah, so that's the only way of how you can be able to make money. Let's go and finish with the chicks. So let's continue with our video. So during the first day when these chicks arrive, you have to make sure that you can see this water. This water has some multivitamin in it. It has some chick formula in it. It has glucose. And I mean glucose. You guys who usually use chick start, for those guys that usually use chick start has very minimal glucose. And you're giving that very small glucose to your chicks. Like for this water that these chicks have, for every 20 liters, I'm using 300 grams of glucose. 300 grams. And you're using 1 tablespoon of glucose. 1 tablespoon is 20 grams in 20 liters of water. 1 tablespoon. I'm using 300 grams of glucose in 20 liters of water. Okay? I'm using chick formula around 30 grams in 20 liters of water, and I'm using a multivitamin around 30 grams in 20 liters of water. These multivitamin companies, they usually advertise what they want to advertise. But if you want to be able to make your birds be able to absorb the best vitamins faster and be able to have adequate vitamins in their body, I know most people don't like when I talk about using chick formula in the water. But during the transportation of these birds, they usually find out that they usually peck on their poop. So we want to be able to eliminate that element whereby they can be able to develop any kind of disease during the early stages in life. Any gastrointestinal disease. So that's why we are using the chick formula. Don't undermeasure those multivitamins, the chick formula, the glucose, and also the liquid paraffin. The liquid paraffin is only used. Make sure you get this clear from me. Liquid paraffin is only used during the first stage of brooding, and this is only given to the chicks during the first 2 to 3 hours. So after you have done the first 2 to 3 hours, after you have given your chicks the liquid paraffin, you don't continue on day 2 or continue adding the liquid paraffin to the water of the chicks. You'll end up finding out that these chicks will, if you put a lot of liquid paraffin, they will tend to bathe themselves in the water, and they will have very sticky fur, so they will look very small in size, and you'll end up finding out that they are not absorbing heat very well because the fur seems wet because it has absorbed the liquid paraffin a lot. So these chicks will really disturb you. You'll find out that you are getting a lot of mortalities during the early stages of life. So you have to make sure that you are really keen on not giving liquid paraffin after the first day. If you're able only just to give them during the first day, then you'll be able to know that the birds will be able to grow up properly. And after the chicks have arrived, I wish I showed you, you have to make sure that you are taking each chick and placing the beak in the water. Okay? And you have heated your brooder so well. You can see how this brooder is. It is filled with these pots. And yesterday night, it rained like, I don't know, like it rained the whole night. So if these pots were not enough, you'll end up finding out that your chicks are stumbling or crumbling in one corner and killing each other. And that is money lost. So you have to make sure that you are really keen on that. So these are the broods I want to be able to, other birds are coming on Friday and others are coming on Monday. So that is it. So you have just to make sure that you are really keen on what you are doing, so as you can prevent those cases of mortalities during the early stages of life. If you are preheating your brooder so well, then just be assured that you'll be able to get what you want out of the venture, because the chicks will grow up at a very fast rate, and you'll be able to make some money out of the venture. My dream for 2026 is to be able to expand my farm, and be able to purchase a very big piece of land, so as we can be able to expand the venture. So that is the goal. So my target is to be able to rear like 3,000 parent stock, whereby we have 2,500 as female and 500 as male, so as we can be able to produce enough birds for you guys. So that is the goal for 2026. So let's keep on pushing, and you guys make sure that you are putting enough glucose and enough multivitamin into the water of the chicks, so as you can have uniform growth. And if you just want faster growth, I've told you, heat. That's the trick. More heat, they eat less feed, then they drink more water, then they convert very fast, then they grow at a very fast rate. I'll be able to show you these chicks after a period of 1 week, then you'll be able to tell me, or a period of 2 weeks, how big they will be. A period of 2 weeks, these chicks will be looking like chicks of 1 month. And that is the trick, enough heating.